It's a goal! Can you believe it? It's extraordinary.
We'll move on to the Adelaide Crows. It's been a big 48 hours there, Caroline, at Adelaide. They've flagged an official review today, an external review headed by 4 people, 2 of them independent, the other 2 yet to be named internally. Do you think heads will roll at the Crows?
Well, look, I think that they should, and I think some coaches are clearly under pressure. We know that Scott Camporeale is under pressure, potentially Ben Hart. I feel that Brett Burton should be looked at. And go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, we'll come to the list of who's under scrutiny in a sec, just after we hear from Don Pike first. Then Mark Rashudo, who put his foot in his mouth, and the Crows' reaction to it. First, Don Pike after the game.
We've all got good ideas, players, high-performance staff, coaching staff. We've got to get all those on the table, have a conversation and say, right, which direction we're going to go. And I'm really clear, when we take that direction, things will change.
Don will be looked at as part of the review, even though he's got 2 years to go on a contract.
Not according to Rob Chapman, who said in the Adelaide Advertiser last week that he supports Don and he expects the review will too.
Yeah, so Andrew Fagan said the same today. We'll hear from Andrew Fagan in a moment. First, Mark Rashudo with what he said on radio and then the apology.
Whatever decision has to be made from the top to the bottom will be made for the betterment of the football club, and the supporters, as Dom said, should back the people in. And if they don't, well then maybe they don't need to barrack for the footy club.
Didn't mean to offend the members of the football club in any way. I love the footy club and I love the members and know a lot of them personally. So I was probably referring to a very, very small amount of them that perhaps are never happy.
Yeah, look, they were really disappointing comments, and look, I spoke to Mark last night. Certainly his choice of words were poor and not a reflection of the football club.
Yeah, so it just continues to segment a little bit at the top there, Caroline, at the Crows. And what will happen off-field?
Well, can I just show a comment that Andrew Fagan made when he actually took over as CEO of the football club in 2014. He said that his vision was to make the Crows the most respected and successful team in the country. That is my history, Andrew Fagan said. Deliver the best football program because that is what you can control. Put the right people in the right seats, get the right system in place. Well, Craig, 1 year ago, Taylor Walker, Rory Sloane, Josh Jenkins, not Brad Crouch, Matt Crouch, I'm sorry, yes, and I think there was one other player, went to Andrew Fagan and went to the coach and went to the head of football and demanded change and demanded contrition for what had happened the year before after the grand final loss. And that still hasn't, in their minds, many players really happened. And you've got so many unhappy players. And that's why I think Andrew Fagan, if he's honest with himself, has to take a look at himself, because all the members and all the profits, Matthew, in all the world do not justify an unhappy football club.
So you think his job's under question?
No, I don't think it is, but I think that if he can't fix his football problem, and it is a football problem, then I think he should be under the pump, and certainly others are, Brett Burton being one of them.
Where do you sit on Burton, Rashudo, Pike, their responsibility in all of this?
Look, Mark Rashudo isn't going anywhere, even though, he makes some inappropriate comments at times. Don Pike's got a 2-year contract. They're not going to allow player power for a second time to sack a coach with 2 years to go on his contract. But I believe Don Pike will be under the pump next year and he'll be told to fix the game plan.
I don't think they'll get through this without changes at coaching level and footy.
No, I think Scott Camporeale seems to be
that would be just a sacrificial lamb.
Are you saying actually time for Pike to go now?
I think he's under real pressure in this review.
I agree. I think if you have lost the players, I don't care, as I said this last week.
Tom Lynch was the other player, by the way, who went to the...
I don't care what your contract status is, and I know that's a big thing with payouts and all that sort of thing, but it's no turning back, and you have to make that decision.
Well, I mean, it's inevitable that a review will show up a rift between the players and the coach, some players and the coach. Now, either some of those players have got to go or the coach has got to go. There can't be any middle ground.
My understanding is that the chairman, who's also signalled his own departure in about a year, and the CEO are determined that Don Pike will coach for 1 more year. That could change. And, of course, Mark Rashudo is backing his friend Brett Burton, but there is a view that he has not performed in his role either.
They've done this without any injuries either. That's the other thing on their list. It's a clean bill of health. So I think they'll cascade down the way they have.
I think there'll be significant off-field changes. What about on-field?
Yeah, on-field, sorry, Caro. I've taken a look at who I'd consider delisting and who I would keep and who I'd trade. And these are the only ones I'd say I wouldn't trade for anything. And obviously Matthew Crouch could come into it for the right deal. But Sloane, Brodie
delisting
Smith,
Gibbs is an
Jones,
extraordinary fall from grace.
Yeah,
Matthew.
I would consider delisting. Obviously, you've got to look at salary cap again. But Betts, Gibbs, Jacobs and McKay, if they stay on your list, you're tempted to play them. And I think the game has gone past all 4 of them. And then there, Brad Crouch, you get a first rounder. Keith and Jenkins, you get second round. 3rd for Greenwood, 3rd for Atkins, and 4th for Gallucci. And you also trade, you get a money dumping with Josh Jenkins. So massive changes to come.
Betts and Gibbs contracted next year. Would you pay them out?
Yeah, I would pay them out. Yeah, I'd pay them out because I don't think they should play next year. No.
I'll make the right one.